So in this video today, we're going to talk about the most common Medicare questions that people have that I get asked, and I'm going to make a video today about what those questions are, and we're going to get answers to those questions so that you're more comfortable and you understand these different parts. Now, no one expects you to be a master or a genius, and frankly, you don't have to be. That's why people like me exist, so we can get these questions answered for you. But these are some common ones that everyone probably should know. And if you do know it, it does help, kind of understand what's going on. You can understand your coverage. You can make better decisions. Again, guys, my name is Cbudenz. I'm an independent health insurance broker. I'm contracted with many different carriers in many different states and can help you with anything related to Medicare or health insurance. So one of the first questions that we're going to go over are, what are the different parts of Medicare? That's a common question because you see, the alphabet soup, the alphabet of Medicare, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You can sing probably the whole alphabet song, and there's probably going to be a part of Medicare in those letters. So today we're going to talk about the major ones of these letters of Medicare. The first one is going to be Part A, which is your hospital. So that's the first letter, the first part of Medicare. And Part A is hospital. And the next one is Part B, and that's medical, which in 2025 is $185 a month. Now, Part A, on the other hand, for most people is premium free. So a lot of people are not going to have to pay for Part A, but Part B, on the other hand, you will. And the standard, like I said, for this year is $185. So Part A and Part B come together. That's original Medicare. Once again, A is hospital, anything related to the hospital, and B is medical. So doctor visits, specialists, labs, x-rays, all of that. So that's the first, part of Medicare. And then we have Part C. Part C is Medicare Advantage. Now, you do not have to have Part C. You do need to have Part A and Part B to have Medicare and to choose a plan. But Part C is not something that everybody needs to have. And Part C is Medicare Advantage plans, which you probably see advertised on TV quite a bit. So that is an option that people can go because we know A and B are going to cover 80%, and that's going to leave you with 20% to pick up. And so these are a Part C Medicare Advantage plan is a way that you can pick up those things that A and B are not going to cover. And Part C you can get through private insurance companies, which we can help with that. We're contracted with many different carriers. So if that's the route you want to go, we can certainly help. The last part of Medicare is going to be Part D, and that's your prescription drugs. So anything related to prescriptions that you get at a pharmacy or anything like that, that's going to be your prescription drug plan. And then the other part of Medicare is Medicare Supplement. So if you decide that you do not want Part C, you can elect to have a Medicare Supplement plan, which I've made other videos on what a Medicare Supplement is, what's the difference between Advantage and Supplement. So I won't touch too much on that today, but that is another part of Medicare, which is the Medicare Supplement. And then real quick, we'll talk about the costs of Medicare. That's another, common question is, how much does Medicare cost? And I kind of explained that for most people, you're not going to have a premium for Part A. For Part B, the standard this year in 2025 is $185. And then Part C, Medicare Advantage, for most people in most states across the country, that's going to be $0 a month. And a lot of the times the Medicare Advantage plan is going to include, dental, vision, and hearing and your prescription drug plan, kind of wrapped into that monthly cost of $0. The Medicare Supplement will have a cost monthly, and it really depends on your age and your state. So I'd say on a range, maybe $130 to upwards of $240. In places like Florida, the Medicare supplements are a lot higher. So that's sort of the cost on average for Medicare supplements. Now, if you go with a Medicare supplement, you also have to purchase a prescription drug plan. Unlike the Medicare Advantage, where a prescription drug plan may be included in your plan, on a Medicare supplement it is not. And so you have to pay for a prescription drug plan. And that cost is really going to be dependent, again, where you are in the country and what prescriptions you're taking. And so that can be $20 a month. It could be $89 a month. It just depends on the prescriptions that you're taking. And so really that is going to be the costs associated with Medicare. Now, another side note, as far as, the Medicare supplement route, it does not include dental, vision, and hearing. So if that is something that you want, you have to purchase that separately, unlike Part C, Medicare Advantage, where that dental, vision, hearing, and that prescription drug plan is included in that $0 premium. Another common question that I get from a lot of people is, how do you enroll in Medicare? And it's pretty simple. If you're going to be taking Medicare at 65 and you're already drawing Social Security, you're going to be automatically enrolled into Part A and Part B. If you are not drawing Social Security at 65, then you have to actively enroll in Part A and Part B. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. And if you contact me, I can help you through this process. The first one is to do it online through ssa.gov. And that's a pretty easy way to do it. Can get done quickly. You don't have to go, in person, which leads me to the other option is you can go into Social Security. You can walk in, might take you a while. It's like the DMV, or you can call, schedule an appointment, or you can just call and do it online, do it online or call and do it on the phone, which I don't always recommend. I think either getting an appointment with Social Security or doing it online is probably the easiest way to do it. Once again, if you guys need help doing that, I can certainly help you enroll in Part A and Part B, or at least guide you through what you need to do. Now, another question that I get, and I've made a video on this before, is do you have to take Medicare at 65? That's another common question. And it's real simple. If you or your spouse has insurance through work with 20 or more employees, then you can elect to delay Part B. Now, if you or your spouse, if you guys have insurance through work and it's less than 20 employees, then you have to take A and B, and you want to, so you can avoid any lifelong penalties. So if you have what we call credible coverage through work with 20 or more lives, then you can simply delay Part B online as well. And a lot of people will just enroll in A because it doesn't cost them anything. So you can enroll in Part A and actually delay Part B. Once again, if you guys have questions about that or want me to walk you through how to do that, I certainly can. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Those are the common questions with Medicare, right? The costs, what are the different parts? How do you enroll? Do you have to enroll? And so hopefully this helps. I'd love to hear your guys' feedback down below. And if you guys have other questions that you have, maybe a little bit more deep dive into some questions, please comment down below and I can make other videos addressing some of those. But these are the most common questions that I receive and that a lot of seniors have. So I hope this helps. Once again, guys, if you want personal help to go through all of this, because I know it is a lot, there's a lot to know, there's a lot of options, it can be very overwhelming. So if you need help, please reach out. All of my contact information will be down below. My consultations are 100% free to you, and I would love to be able to help and walk you through this next journey of your life. So I hope this helps, guys, and we will see you next time.